The Mahdi war is here. The Mahdi war is here. US and Israel, they're about to make this big mistake. And they are already making so many mistakes as we speak. They made a lot of mistakes in the past. Now they're dealing with this force. They see something not so significant. But what we see from here, from a neutral perspective, is that this could be the end of Israel and US that we know today. So let me explain to you what happened. I'm going to be actually using this news that I just watched. So there is a scientist in UK. His name is Ian Bremmer, who has been an outstanding voice of reason throughout this entire conflict. And he made some very, very remarkable choices when he was talking about this whole situation. His choice of word, how he put things together, what he really meant, what he said. So all of these things he put together very, very nicely. So he said that this entire conflict tells the situation exactly as it is. Destroying Hamas will make Israel more safe. So this is again coming from this person who said basically that if you are killing Hamas, then maybe Israel will become a safer place. But here is the thing. Are you ready? So he said there is a caveat. If you kill 2.3 million civilians of Gaza, then what you will be doing is that you'll be making Israel less safer. Less safer basically means US and Israel and these two countries' citizens, they will face safety issues wherever they go. And not only that, this could actually lead to eventual World War III if it doesn't stop, if US and Israel, they decided that this is the path they want to choose and try to destroy Gaza. So 2.3 million people, if you dare to touch them, according to him, Ian Bremmer, he is saying that this will be the end of Israel and also US. Now then, this article is talking about more in detail. So basically 2.3 million Palestinian Gaza will make Israel less safe. Protecting the lives of civilians is a matter of basic humanity. It's also in the self-interest of Israel and their citizen that United States is the only country. Now, of course, US, the only country that can, this person, this scientist is telling us that US can save Israel. Basically, what I understand from this article is that this is going to be the end of Israel, so it depends on US. If US makes one simple mistake, then both countries will suffer huge consequence, if not existential threat. So all eyes are on this particular matter. This is why it is so important, especially if you're watching me and talking about end of time war, the Malhama, the Mahdi war. Then you need to understand that, dear brothers and sisters, before the Mahdi comes, there will be World War III. And this is exactly where this situation is heading to. So this is for self-interest for Israel that they do not go into Gaza. And we have seen reports saying that, they are actually not going to Gaza because they don't dare getting into that territory. This is going to be very, very hostile and could be the end of Israel and US. So Gaza makes Israel less safe. Protecting the lives of civilians is basic human rights. The world that can influence, so US is the only country in the world that can influence and guide Israel now. In fact, Israel would not have a military or a defense force if it were not for the Americans. The US sends billions of dollars of military aid every year to Israel, but US weapons are used in military attacks against innocent civilians. The United States government is required under international law to stop supplying. They cannot just do it. They need to stop supplying under the international law. Those weapons, of course, we all know the US military oftentimes does not follow international law, and for many countries, specifically those in the global south, the inability of the US government to influence and control Israel represents a huge double standard. Why? Because if you think about this, US is telling Russia, giving them lecture about human rights issues, killing innocent civilians, and they're lecturing Russia on a daily basis, what they're doing in Ukraine. But at the same time, now they have this Zionist state who is committing these atrocities across Palestine, across, I would say, even the world, wherever they find Muslims. I mean, if you think about this, they went after Iranian military, they went after Iranian scientists. So they're creating these atrocities, they're making these things much worse, and therefore, of course, US has to condemn, but they're not doing it. They're doing it for Russia, but they're not doing it for Israel. So there is a double standard. And this article is very, very interesting at the same time, because this article is trying to, strike a balance of neutrality. It's not talking too much about pro-Israeli influence and their interest, nor it is talking about the pro-Palestinian interest or pro-Palestinian, and their interests. So this is a very good mixture of this article that we find from here. So a huge double standard, of course. American foreign policy, U.S. officials have no trouble criticizing other governments for violations of international law, but then they have problem when they see Israel is doing exactly the same thing. So last year, if you remember, U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations, Linda Thomas Greenfield, condemned Russia's conduct in the war in Ukraine. She advocated areas of Ukraine had been without food, water, electricity, or gas for weeks, and immediately called out Russia for violating international law. But when Israel is doing exactly the same thing, what is she doing? Where is Linda Thomas Greenfield? Where are you? You are nowhere. You're gone. She's gone. She's sleeping. So, see the double standard? Russia is cutting off electricity, water, gas, and all that, and they are being condemned. But when Israel is doing exactly the same, the Israeli defense minister, he said, we're going to cut off electricity and this and that and that, and nothing from U.S., no condemnation for that. But once again, not a single word from U.S. government when Israel engage in the exact same activity. Maybe the Biden administration reacted differently to Russia than it did to Israel, because it believes the actions of Hamas now justifies Israel's conduct, but international law is not enforced on whether you feel the action is justified or not. International law is international law. The law is there. If you don't follow it, you don't follow it. If you follow it, you follow it. There is no such thing that, I feel like following it, I don't feel like following it. You are violating laws, and you are violating laws. So what Israel and US they're doing right now is making a big, big mistake that will go down in the history book as double standard from these two countries. And when we see that these countries are making mistakes, obviously Russia would not keep quiet. China will not keep quiet. They already sent 6 US, I think it's not US, sorry. China, they sent 6 warships to the Mediterranean. I think it docked in Kuwait. They're ready. China is ready. In other words, Russia is ready. Turkey is ready. I made a report yesterday. I said in that video, I quoted a U.S. military general who said, do not mess up with the Turks. If you mess with the Turks, you will be fighting, or you'll be fought back by the Turks like hell. This is exactly what he said. So what we are understanding from this situation is that the whole world is being divided. One side you have US and Israel and UK and some other European countries. On the other side, you also have a growing number of countries joining together, redefining this whole narrative of what is human rights, how to be neutral, and all those things. So we will see some very, very interesting developments coming in the coming days, and we hope that, inshallah, the Muslims would use this as an opportunity to wake up and to help the people of Gaza. Because remember, if US, Israel, both of them, they agreed to go into Gaza, then of course it means either Israel or Palestine. All right, there cannot be both states living side by side anymore if they go into Gaza, because the Palestinian, they will fight to their last breath, and the U.S. soldier, IDF, they will also, Israeli soldiers, they will also fight like they have never fought in the past ever. And this could be the defining moment in our history that we will see either one of the states are being survived. And we believe as Muslims, as believers, that Allah will destroy Israel, because He promised help to His slaves. means us. And so if there is a war in Gaza and they dare to attack us, it will be the end of them.